President-elect William Samoei Ruto has told the court that the National Security Advisory Council wanted to alter the presidential results that were announced by the Commission's chairperson, Wafula Chebukati. While responding to questions raised by judges on Thursday at the Apex Court Friday morning, Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is representing the president-elect, said by the time the 4 members of the National Security Advisory Council arrived at the National Tallying Center in Bomas, they knew that verification and tallying was complete, and what remained was the declaration.
President-elect William Ruto defense team at the Supreme Court believes the National Security Advisory Council members who arrived at the Bomas of Kenya during the declaration of the winner of the presidential elections wanted to alter the sovereign will of the people. Lawyer Professor Kithure Kindiki, who is representing the president-elect Dr. Ruto, while responding to the question raised by Justice Smokin Wanjala on who the court should believe on the question of the National Security Advisory Council, said by the time the 4 members of the National Security Advisory Council arrived at Bomas, they knew that verification and tallying was complete, and what remained was the declaration.
It is our submission that all factors point to an inescapable conclusion that the 4 members of the National Security Advisory Council, by the time they went to the Bomas of Kenya National Tallying Center, and by the time the head of public service placed a call on the returning officer of the presidential election, by that time they knew.
Professor Kindiki further stated that a letter was sent to all presidential candidates to converge at Bomas, the National Tallying Center, for the declaration of the final presidential results.
My client already had received that invitation. I believe the other presidential candidates had those letters. And therefore, they knew by the time these state officers went to the National Tallying Center, they knew that the verification tallying had been completed, and what was pending was the declaration of the final result.
In a quick rejoinder, Attorney General's lawyer George Oraro sought to dismiss Kindiki's claims, saying Chebukati had admitted that the final tally of the results was not out by the time it was meeting the Security Council.
676 of his affidavit, where he says that after the NSAC team had left, the Commission Secretary Chief Executive Officer, who was also the alternate team leader of the Tallying Center, Marjan Hussein, walked into the boardroom. Yeah. The purpose of the meeting was to receive the final tally.
He further argued that Ruto's lawyers do not have adequate proof to the allegations. IBC lawyer George Murugu, while responding to the question by Justice Isaac Lenaola on why Chebukati did not wait until the next day to declare the winner before violence erupted, this was his response.
He made considerations concerning security of his staff, who at that particular point in time were suffering arrests, abductions, and injuries to officials, including commissioners. In his mind, it was prudent to conclude the exercise since Article 138(3)(c) had been fully satisfied.
Frederick Mwoki for Lunchtime News.